Alright, looks like we're live. How's it going, everyone? Marriland here, and yeah, it is time for some more Wonder Trade Wednesday and Shiny hatching. Hopefully we'll finally get that Shiny today. Alright, so I do need to get a box ready for this, because I didn't do that. But that shouldn't be too much of a hassle. I did do a little bit of releasing a bit back, so all I should need to do is just find where we were. Let's see, where's... Alright, 330, so I guess we'll just swap that. So, we'll do this. Plus... 360! Yeah, there we go. Oh, man. Yeah, I have not had my coffee yet. I went to bed at like 8 last night, or this morning, I guess. And I just was really tired waking up. Wait, why did I deposit the egg? I just said I didn't have that coffee. There we go. That's what I needed. But yeah, I've just been pretty tired, actually. So, oh, I don't know what's up with the font, with, the Twitch alert thing. That's kind of weird. Huh, weird. Alright, well, whatever. I'll figure that out at some point. But for right now, I think we're just gonna start up with a little bit of egg hatching. I really want to get that darn Cyndaquil. The poor voice. I don't know. My voice has been kind of crazy lately. I've been talking too much, darn it. It's really unfortunate. I mean, I guess it's good, but it's, you know, definitely can't get... Oh, okay, now the text is fine. That's wild. Huh, weird. Alright, well, anyway. Yeah, so, let's see. I was going to stream Monday night, but you know what? It was going to be a Minecraft stream, and it's going to be really cool. It was going to be the finale of the, vanilla Marriland server. We're going to update it, start fresh. But, yeah, didn't get around to that because there was Pokemon news. And we kind of had to go with that. And D-Manator1999 just subscribed. That is awesome. Thank you so much for your big service. You rock so much. That is a good surprise. Thank you for that. Thank you indeed. So, yeah, I decided not to do that because, you know what? Then everyone would be talking about the new Pokemon and the new stuff. And, you know, as exciting as that is, it does really cut into the... You know, the ultimate feeling of, you know, wrapping up an entire, almost a full year on the server. That's pretty cool. All the things that people made, all that stuff. So, yeah, just decided, you know what, we're gonna push that back a week. So this Monday will be the finale, and I think that'll be pretty cool. We're gonna check out the world. I hope to have a world download available, I don't know, a little bit before, well, no, it'll actually be afterwards and thinking about it, because, I don't know, but it'll be neat, because as I show off people's houses, I will be, I don't know, I need my coffee, I'll be putting people in a spectator mode, and they'll be finalized that way, but then they can show me their house and talk about it and stuff. So I think that'll be neat. Hopefully we'll get some old people on the server on, because that'll be good. Oh man, but yeah. Let's see. Bacon Weasel, you're such a good creator with all your series. And you've always put out your hardest work, so I'm glad to finally be a patron. Good luck in shiny hunting today. Well, thank you, Bacon Weasel. I do need to get to the few new patrons that I got last month. I usually do that every Thursday, the first Thursday of the month. Usually. I might get to it a little early. But yeah, that's kind of how it works. And Patreon has been a lot quicker at processing now, but it doesn't really, doesn't always mean that I can just, you know, stop everything. Because I got a lot of paperwork and stuff to do, which is important when you got a lot of people. You got to keep track of them, make sure, you know, they have all the stuff necessary. And, you know, they're getting all their benefits and things, but trying to keep track, you know, who to whitelist and all that, I'm glad I made a spreadsheet for it. But yeah, I guess just to clarify for any new patrons that just joined, in July. Yeah, I guess it's August now. Wow. You won't have a chance to sign on to the existing server. You will be able to join the new server, the relaunch on 1.10.2. But the current server, as it is right now, because there's only one more stream left, it's just going to be for people that have already, you know, put work into the Merrill Valley and that kind of thing. So don't worry about that too much, because you will have a chance to start fresh with everyone else. But yeah, that's kind of how it's gonna go. So just have a little bit of patience. We're also waiting on a decent version of Pixelmon. Alright. Am I going to Worlds this year? I am. In fact, actually, I did get my, I got my flight figured out for that, which is good. I'll be traveling with some family friends, so that'll be rather nice. Got a heck of a deal, which is nice. It's always good when, you know friends and family that work at the airlines. I tell you, that can be just great. So it'll be good. Definitely worthwhile. But that's a big relief because I didn't really know, you know, if that would be an option. It was last year and it was pretty good, but this year it I decided I'd ask again and worked out just fine. So that's good. Let's see. Hello, Marriland. Just want to say that I love your Terraria series. Well, that's great because I do too. Oh my goodness. I love Terraria. It is a game that gets me, just so addicted. Like, it's one of the funnest things. I will just tell you right now, I am so far ahead in recording that series. My goal was to have something just kind of fun. Something that's not very stressful, something that's just really enjoyable, and I went with that because it's one of my favorite games, and it has been just a blast. Like, I can't put it down. That's part of the reason why my voice is a little shot, because, again, I just keep talking and that, and yeah. But the good news is it should definitely be a daily series, thanks to that. Should be filler. I'm not, of course, giving up the X-Wedlock or anything, or even Super Mystery Dungeon or Explorers of Sky. It's just this is something that requires very little in the way of editing, and it's really addictive, so I don't feel like it's just grinding and stuff. And, because that's one of the problems with, like, the X-Wedlock. I don't get all that motivated because it's like every episode, you might not realize it, but every episode of that takes hours because, you know, even if everything goes smoothly, and there's no deaths or anything, or no training, still, it's probably at least 2 or 3 hours because of all the editing. Every time I open up the menu, like, to change my Pokemon around, I have to make an edit there. I have to look through this, and I have to change different properties to flip the screen. It's quite a process. Of course, I have to update every time someone gains a level. I have to update the layout anytime the team changes or things like that. There's a lot that goes into it. So it's just like, you know, I could play it and that's just fine. But the problem is it's like 4 times as long or more editing. And editing is boring. So boring. So yeah, and then the grinding, like training. Just if I lose any Pokemon at this phase, the number of hours it takes to train something new up is just so frustrating. So yeah, I haven't been overly motivated, but I am near the end, which is kind of good. That's the case. Why did you start adding the team's levels in Black 2? Because I felt it made it more polished. I mean, even though it's a lot of extra work, it really is very polished, and, you know, I just feel like it's something that if I didn't do it nowadays, it would be, it just wouldn't look as professional. Shouldn't Terraria technically be on More Marriland? Nope. I don't use More Marriland anymore. I haven't uploaded a video in there in like a year, and it just, there's no point to it right now because I can upload everything on just my main channel. More Marriland is just an archive back from the days where I had the Marriland website, and wanted to keep the branding relatively consistent with Pokemon. But now that I don't run, the Marriland website anymore for right now, I mean, I do have the domain name. I just have it redirecting to Azuraland, which that's a long story. Just Google Azuraland, and it's like one of the first articles you'll see on the Azuraland site explains it. But yeah, needless to say, there's no point in uploading things to More Marriland anymore because, why bother with that? I'm also running out of Pokemon games to play, so I will be branching off. I've been talking about this for several months. Just about every stream I talk about it, which is why I'm glad to actually do something about it and, start up a series that isn't Pokemon that I'm actually having a lot of fun with. I'm having a lot of fun with it. Like, I don't know if I can even fully explain how much fun I'm having. It's great. I love that game. It's just so good. Oh man. Yeah, but just kind of trying to figure out stuff to do to keep me entertained. And of course, being a daily series, it will provide good filler for people, if they want to watch some Marriland stuff, but, takes a bunch of hours and motivation and stuff to do anything on the X Wedlock. So for those times where I don't feel like working on anything, because, like, I don't really do a lot of work on the series on Wednesday. I get so worn out from Wonder Trade Wednesday. It's weird. It shouldn't happen, but I do. And, yeah, it's like, I just don't feel like recording anything afterwards. And then Thursdays are Patreon days, so I usually end up spending those. Like, I don't work on videos or anything for pretty much the whole day, so I can't really record or anything then. It's just, like, it's tough finding time for it, oftentimes. And, like, I don't know. Whatever the case, I'm just looking forward to the series being done, to be honest. I've had a lot of fun with it. It's been alright, but and again, this isn't, like, carved in stone or anything, but I do think probably afterwards it's gonna be probably a long break between Nuzlockes if I even do any more. Because I'd forgotten just how stressful they can be. Like, even aside from comments, just like that whole personal stress that, one false move and it's gonna be hours of training, and that's just, I hate that. It's really, really less than fun, when it gets to that. And I think focusing on games that are more fun is definitely a lot better. So, yeah, probably just gonna do that. But I do think it was good to do that. I love X and Y, and I really feel like doing a challenge that was reminiscent of the one that I did way back was a good idea. Because back in 2014, I did the X Wedlock on Twitter, and not this current one, but it was with the same rules, and it was also very brutal. Actually, even more brutal in a lot of ways. But it was pretty crazy. Yeah, it definitely was. Alright, but yeah, we shall see. What about Sun and Moon? I'm not going to say I'm doing a Nuzlocke on them. I'm just plain and simple not. I'll play them. I'm not even 100% sure I'll be doing it for my channel. But I will play them. Because you know what? I'm not ever going to say, yes, I'm doing this sometime in the future until, like, the day it's posted, basically. Because I did that with Undertale. It's like, oh, okay, I'm going to have, Genocide Run in April. And it's like I did the X Wedlock in April. And just people were being so rude about, well, when's the Genocide Run coming? So, it, like, I don't know. I could give you a date for when something's going to happen. And it's like the very first day of that month, people just get really wild about it, or maybe I don't know. It's just, I'm not doing that in the future, even for things that I'm very likely to do. I'm never gonna say, yes, I'm doing this. It's just gonna be, all right, here you go. You can watch what's on my channel, and yeah, I'm not gonna tell you any schedule ahead of time. Although I will say that Terraria's schedule is very finite. Every day 6 p.m. Central Time. For reference, it's 4:22 p.m. right now. But yeah, I wanted to be consistent with that, which is why I have plenty of it recorded. Probably way too much for my own good. But that's okay, because again, like I said, I'm having fun with it, and that is a huge difference. When you're playing through a game that doesn't feel like it's just a grind, it's just so much better. And like, I guess the feeling I've had lately with the main series Pokemon games, especially when doing like Nuzlocke and Sleep Blocks for streaming and stuff, is it's just so much of a grind. Like, every bit of content you see is great and all, but there's like so much either behind the scenes or time spent training that just is boring. It's so boring, and I don't know, I like having fun, so fun is good. Yeah, fun is definitely good. Oh man, but yeah, I don't know. I guess I've been having a good time with that. But yeah, Sun and Moon, I guess a lot of news happened. All the Alolan Pokemon. Also, fair warning if you're one of those people that doesn't want things spoiled for Sun and Moon, even though it was officially announced. And I'm only talking about things that have been officially announced, just in case you're thinking of other leaks. But yeah, the Alolan Pokemon are pretty wild. Like, I love the Sandshrew and Sandslash. They're just so cool. They're great. I also like the Vulpix line, what they did to that. Executor's just a little weird, but it's kind of silly. Let's see. What else? The Captain's thing is pretty cool with the Kahunas. I wonder if that's gonna, like, replace the Elite Four. You know, maybe just have, like, the 4 Kahunas on the island, and then maybe at the end you don't fight the champion, you fight the big Kahuna. That'd be pretty neat. I'd like that. Yeah, we'll have to see. Yeah. And then some of the other new Pokemon are rather wild. I like that Mantis thing, which is pretty cool. The Donkey's neat. Yeah, well, whatever the case, I think it's pretty cool. Like, there's so much content. Like, I know, in the past I used to make, you know, kind of analysis update video things, but everyone's doing them nowadays, and it's just like, I don't know, they take so much work to do, and it's not really fun while doing it. And it's like, I don't try to get too out there with speculation or anything, so it's like, you know what? Just watch the trailer. Everyone should be following Pokemon anyway. So, yeah, you could get my thoughts, or I could just kind of tell you, or talk about it on my personal Twitter. Oh yeah, the Z moves. I think it could be interesting. We'll have to see what they're all about. I'll be curious to see more of them. Alright, let's see. Yeah, I do wonder if Wonder Trading will be back in Gen 7. I sure hope so, because I really enjoy it. Let's see, do I think the Kahunas will replace the Elite Four or maybe gym leaders? I kind of think that they might. I really don't know. It's too soon to say. You know, they could just do away with the entire Elite Four concept at the end, where, you know, you have 4 bosses. But, yeah, I really don't know. They'll probably, the captains will probably end up replacing gym leaders. But I think it's a cool thing, that they're doing, that they're actually changing things in the game. Let's see, when am I Wonder Trading? I'm Wonder Trading when the counter reaches 390 eggs. So, we'll wait until then. Got about 18 to go. And then I'll do a box of Wonder Trading, which I think will be good. Alright, so I did hatch a female Cyndaquil. Still need to get a really good one. This looks promising. Flash Fire. It has 6 for defense, 12 for hit points. Those are the only things that seem to change, so I'm gonna go check it out really fast and see, just possibly. Alright, let's see. What have we got? Hit points, attack, defense. Ah, darn it, missing special attack. That's a shame. Oh well, I guess it's to be expected. I think the odds of getting a perfect female Cyndaquil with the hidden ability, I think they are rarer than getting a shiny, so yeah. But that's okay. Oh man, sorry if I'm not as chatty as usual. Again, it takes a bit out of me, and I didn't have my coffee. I'm not running on a lot of sleep. I need to stop staying up so late. But it's usually not that I have anything I need to do when I wake up, so it doesn't really matter. I need to get my sleep schedule figured out before Worlds, because that's gonna be definitely different. You know, I'll have to wake up at reasonable hours. I think that'll actually be a lot more difficult too, because of the time zones. So yeah, I'm trying to think exactly how that would end up working. So 2 hours difference, of course. Let's see, so yeah, it would be like going to bed a lot earlier for me. So, you know, let's say if I went to bed at midnight or something, that'd be basically the equivalent of 10 p.m. for me. So I'm really going to need a lot of work on this sleep schedule, because 10 p.m. is like, what, 10 hours, 8 hours, something like that earlier than I would normally go to bed. So that's a problem. That is definitely a problem. How old am I? I'm old. Just leave it at that. Yeah, let's see. What would I have called some Pokemon from the Heart Gold Nuzlocke? Well, Wedlock, really, if they were the opposite gender. Like if you had a male Geodude or a female Caterpie. Honestly, I really don't know. I'd have looked at my list to see, and I would base my decision on that, but it's really impossible to say. It's not like I had a name picked out for them or anything, you know, based on that. But what I do is I make lists of names, and then whenever I catch a Pokemon, I consult those lists to see, you know, what kind of matches them. For the Heart Gold Wedlock, I had 2 lists. One for fruits, one for vegetables. And anytime I catch a new Pokemon, I just take a look at, you know, name on that list that would kind of match. Of course, you know, it would vary based on what gender the Pokemon was, because I had males named after vegetables, females named after fruits. But it, I don't know, kind of just how I would go about doing that. But that also means I don't really know what I would have named them, because I would have just looked at the list and picked something. Let's see. Would it be wrong if I stopped posting X Wedlock updates on Twitter? I like doing them, but I feel no one sees them. Well, it's totally your call. Again, remember, if you're doing it for you, you should just do it for you. Don't worry so much about, you know, if people see it or not. I mean, obviously that does make it more fun. But remember, it's also something that you personally can go back and look through. That's why I try to tag everything with, you know, hashtag XWedlock way back, so I could just do in Twitter's search from Prof Waffles, Professor Waffles, my personal account, and hashtag XWedlock, so I can just see all my posts. So that's what I would recommend. I mean, don't do it necessarily because you want it to be seen by other people. I mean, of course you do, but do it because you want to be able to look back at it and kind of keep a log. And then if people happen to see it, then, you know, they might get into it, but it shouldn't be the goal. You should just do it because you want to have fun. Yay! Katie Loves Animu's been subscribed for 22 months in a row. My goodness, that is crazy. Jeez. Well, thank you so much, Katie Loves Animu, for, wow, being subscribed for like, what, almost 2 years now. That is insane, I tell ya. Insane. That is just huge service. Thank you so much for that. That is incredible. Incredible. Alright, that's such a big number. It's so cool that it does say how long it's been. Really like that. Okay, I would really, really like for this Cyndaquil to be hatched before 500 eggs. I think that would be reasonable to ask for. I remember back when I did egg hatching, you know, just for previous Wonder Trade Wednesdays, like, I'm talking, you know, late 2013, early 2014, I would do so much breeding and egg hatching. I'd just sit down and watch some TV, hatch some eggs, and it was just great. I didn't stream that. I did stream, you know, the Wonder Trade portion, which was a lot of fun, but I did not stream the hatching, because I'm like, who would want to watch that? Well, you guys proved me wrong, but yeah, I didn't do it back then. But I hatched so many shinies doing this, and now it's like I can barely hatch any, which is, I mean, it's not that bad, but, you know, I definitely would love it if I had my old rates, because that was pretty great. It felt like I was just hatching shinies left and right. But, oh well, I guess my luck is just dried up. I haven't really felt all that lucky lately with a lot of things, which is kind of sad, kind of unfortunate, but, I mean, I guess that's life. So, yeah, I don't really know. But I guess that's how it goes. Let's see, am I still vegetarian? I remember you mentioning it ages ago. Yes, I still am vegetarian. I'm not vegan or anything. Every now and then I'll go a month or so on a vegan diet, and I just don't really I don't know. I don't really I can't give up my cheese. I do love cheese and eggs. I'm sorry. But yeah, I've still been vegetarian pretty much my whole life. Well, not pretty much. I have been my whole life. And I don't really want to change it, to be honest. Let's see. Is this the X file which you recorded your original walkthrough on? The outfit looks familiar. Actually, yes, it is. It is the one that I did all those years back. I don't really, I don't know, do that much stuff now for videos, but I do stream from this, which is good. How's the Zeldathon going? Well, I'm in Jabu Jabu's belly on Ocarina of Time now, so I guess that's progress. Although I don't know, I haven't gotten into it quite as much. but hopefully that'll change. I've been more addicted to like Terraria and stuff lately, and then I picked up Final Fantasy X again, which probably a mistake, but oh well. Any tips for Skeletron Expert Mode? Well, I died so many times when I tried to fight him in Expert Mode. I mean, you know, this is before I was recording. This is back in February, but, yeah, make sure you have plenty of buff potions like Iron Skin, Regeneration Potion, etc. Be able to dodge, make some platforms and stuff so you can, avoid him. And from what I hear, if you just farm the, Queen Bee a whole bunch, just lob a bunch of bee nades at him, and that should hopefully do the trick if you're able to fight the Queen Bee. Let's see, speaking of Ocarina of Time, any chances of you making Zelda videos? Well, unfortunately, no, really not. Nintendo tends to be very backwards with their policies towards, you know, Let's Plays and monetization and stuff, and, you know, it's not really that, you know, I, you know, only do things for the money, but let's face it, if I'm going to put in hours and hours of work into a video series, it should probably be from a video series that, you know, I can at least monetize, because it's kind of my job. I'll still play the games. Like, I'm looking forward for Breath of the Wild, but as for posting videos on my channel, it's just not something that really works. I don't want to join their program thing because they're not as, like, accommodating with the cuts. You'd think that a big company like Nintendo would be a little bit more in favor of getting people to play its games and, you know, spread the word about it, make it look fun. And no, that's not really the case. It's just a matter of time, I guess. And you know, I don't really want it to be so much about the money. I guess where I just kind of have an issue with it, it's the policy of it all. It's like, you know, why do they think that they should take all that from someone else's hard work? Now, obviously, they made the games. I'm not saying they don't have the right to, because of course they do, but it's just, they don't really, I don't know, it just seems backwards. It's like, why do that when I could play games that are totally cool with it, you know, that encourage it? That's who I'd rather support. Now, Pokemon is different. It has never been a problem for me. It's not owned solely by Nintendo, so that's a common misconception. But yeah, they don't tend to crack down on that unless you are uploading Japanese trailers from news updates and stuff, because they do crack down on that, and they'll actually remove your videos. I don't think you get strikes, but I think you do remove them. So it's, yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. That's just kind of my rationale behind it. But I'll still play it, and I'll, like, post about it on Twitter and stuff. It's not like I have too much animosity towards it. And I'm actually surprised Animal Crossing wasn't any problem for me when I uploaded it to more Marriland. I'd figured for sure it would be, but no. And I wasn't even, like, you know, doing it for monetization. It's not like I really made that much from it over on that channel, but it's just kind of interesting that nothing was ever claimed on that, which is good. I mean, you know, definitely appreciated. Yeah, let's see. Beat my first Final Fantasy game a few months ago. It's a GBA remake of the first Final Fantasy. That's a pretty good one, actually. Very different from how it was on the NES, but it was also still, it was really enjoyable. I liked it a lot. I think it did a good job at modernizing the original Final Fantasy 1. So, yeah, a lot of the other Final Fantasies after that have much better stories, so kind of keep that in mind. The, first one was mostly just about, like, exploration and, you know, less about characters and stuff. But later ones, you know, have a lot more coherent of a story, which is good. Let's see, cool, I'm also doing a Zeldathon, my first time playing the series. Nothing for me seriously, as I'm a Pokemon fan, but still strange and interesting, the whole Zelda world. Yeah, well, that's really cool. You know, most people I've met have played Zelda in some capacity, but I guess there are people that just never have been exposed to it. And it definitely is an interesting series. Um, it's kind of neat. It's very different from Pokemon, of course, but it is pretty cool. But yeah, you know, when you said strange and interesting, the whole Zelda world. So I went to the Zelda Symphony in Chicago last year. And it was really interesting because, you know, I've been to several Pokemon Symphonies. By the way, I'm going to the one in Milwaukee on September 30th, and I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, it was so wild when I went down to Chicago for the Zelda Symphony because, you know, I've casually played Zelda here and there. I'm not like a huge Zelda fan by any means, but I have played it. And this was actually before I started my whole I'm gonna play every Zelda game kind of challenge. And it was just really interesting to see that crowd compared to Pokemon. Now, in no ways am I saying that it was a worse crowd. It was a very passionate crowd. You saw a lot of cosplayers and a lot of just, you know, people excited to be there, but it was just different. It was a more mature audience, I guess, which I don't know if it was good or bad or anything, but it just I found it to be really cool, having a chance to see another fandom in action. Because I mean, I know I'm huge with Pokemon, but I kind of wonder what it would be like for someone who isn't very familiar with Pokemon. You know, what is that feeling when you see all these people with their Ash Ketchum caps and cosplays of Pokemon and stuff? And I don't know, I just kind of felt that way when I was at the Zelda Symphony. And I enjoyed it a lot. It was pretty good. I wish I would have went to some of the earlier ones because I hear they were better. But, yeah. Let's see. It was kind of neat. That's actually kind of what inspired me to play through a bunch of the Zelda games, because it seems like I always get halfway through the Zelda games and then I just stop for whatever reason, and I just wanted to follow through with them all. And so far I've beaten Zelda 1, I've beaten Zelda 2, I've beaten a whole bunch. Zelda 2, whatchamacallit, man, why can't I think of it? Link's Awakening, that's it. What else? Oh, you know what? This is 382. Well, all of the Game Boy Zelda games, all the other ones. So, yeah. It's been quite the journey, but I still have a lot more I need to do. I have beaten Ocarina of Time, but I'm replaying it just because, I guess. Alright, well... You know what always cracks me up? I don't usually address trolls or anything. Usually, you know, don't bother giving them attention. But when you have something like, you know, talking about, oh yeah, you're too old for this, or wow, you're in your mom's basement or something, and you know, I'm gonna tell you straight up, I own a house. My job is playing video games. I don't know what your job is, but just saying, you know, maybe you shouldn't insult people like that when they're actually making a living doing stuff and they're successful and not attacking other people. Like, that's kind of the funny thing when people, you know, give at least like successful YouTubers a hard time. It's like, hold on a second. What are you saying that, you know, you even expect? Like, what did you want to do when you were growing up? I mean, does it even matter? I'm living the dream, and that's fine. Now, of course, I'm not insulting anyone who, you know, like works fast food or works anything else. I'm very grateful that I've been given this opportunity, but I find it really funny when there's this misconception like, oh yeah, I live in my parents' house. No, I moved out years ago. I've owned my own house for a long time, and I founded a very successful website. Now I've moved on to YouTube, and it's great, you know? But the cool thing is, it's also a lot of skill behind it too, which is great. You know, if you think about it, people don't give professional sports commentators a hard time. It's not like they're actually playing, you know, sports on TV. They're just talking about it. Hey, isn't that what Let's Players do? Yeah, it is. Except, Let's Players also have to be video producers, video editors. They have to be actors. They have to be directors. They oftentimes have to be writers. And they have to be quick on their commentary. Now, not everyone is able to do this. And even people that are, not everyone will make it big by any means. Like I said, I'm very fortunate that I have. But it's just really funny when, you know, there's this, like, stigma towards people. It's like, hold on. Do you even realize how much work and how much knowledge goes into all this? It really is a big set of skills, and I'm confident that if I wasn't doing Let's Plays, I now know enough with video editing and production and stuff like that, that I'm sure I could probably do something in the business. That's just how it goes, you know, you have skills to do things. Now, a lot of people, they do, you know, they'll just do Let's Plays for fun or stream for fun, and, you know, that's fine, that's great. You know, that's how I started, honestly. But yeah, the thing is, it's just, you know, as you start making it big, it does take a lot of work. It takes a lot of skill, and it's kind of something. So, I mean, that guy, again, like I say, usually my solution to trolls, just ignore and mute for however long. They just get bored. They only want attention. That's the thing. If I could recommend to you, if you're doing streaming or anything like that, the second you get someone in who's just like, oh, hey, you know, he looks ugly or something, like, this isn't someone who's going to watch your stream. This isn't someone who's going to contribute. This isn't someone you're gonna even want to argue with, because he's only looking for attention. That's it. So my recommendation for you, if you're streaming and you deal with that, or maybe you're new to streaming, or maybe you want to start, second you see someone like that, don't give them the satisfaction. Just boop, and they're gone. Yay! Snake Eye 1994 subscribed for 10 months in a row. That is some big service. Thank you so much, Snake Eye. That is awesome. That is definitely some big service. Greatly appreciated. You are awesome. Oh man. Yeah. Anyway, sorry for going on that tangent. I'm not really rattled by it or anything. I just found it really funny, and I figured I'd share that. But again, I wasted. Well, I didn't waste it, but I spent too much breath on one person, and it really wasn't about him. He's just someone bored. But you know, the moral of the story is, it's generally best, don't let them rattle you, don't even give them attention, because that's all they're really looking for. And I did have an interesting thought, you know, about, like, you know, bullies, and about people that only try to do, you know, just bring people down. And the thing is, you know, you can basically say, you know, well, you know, maybe you should get, you know, your you know, mental problems sorted out, because let me tell you, no one in their right mind, like, will go in and just insult people for no reason. That indicates that there's something wrong with them. That they're either, you know, mentally abused, emotionally abused, physically abused. There's something wrong. Good people just don't do that. And people usually have some kind of influence. So, you know, anytime you're being bullied or, you know, emotionally attacked, remember that whoever's doing that is probably even worse mentally and, you know, just emotionally than you. They're just lashing out. They're just looking for attention. And that feeds their ego. But that's also negative. That means that there's genuinely something wrong with them. It's not that people just do this. Healthy people don't do that. They're clearly unhealthy for some reason, and you really can't dispute that, because, you know, good people encourage people, and they, if they have an issue with someone, like, you know, someone's weight or someone's, you know, looks or something like that, you know, okay, I've probably seen some people throughout my life that I thought, you know, maybe this person isn't the most attractive person, or maybe this person is a bit, you know, overweight or something. I mean, I deal with that. I'm personally overweight. okay, thanks for pointing that out. It's not like I've known that my whole life, random troll, but, I also understand, people, they do inherently judge other people, but the thing is when you act on it, okay? If you treat someone differently because of that, or if you, even worse, if you insult them, like, that's just wrong, I don't do that, even if I might mentally think, oh, well, this or that or the other thing. If it doesn't affect my behavior or my attitude or my demeanor towards them, you keep it to yourself. You don't just attack people. But I also don't really judge people. I try to be as open and tolerant as possible, which is good. And if there's just one thing I can't tolerate in this world, it's people who are intolerant. Nah, I'm just kidding. Although it is really unfortunate. The funny thing is, I don't really think that it's a tough one. So, to really be tolerant, you have to tolerate intolerance and tolerate the fact that people can be intolerant, because otherwise you yourself are intolerant. And that doesn't really help, does it? Because you're not, like, accepting the fact that, you know what? Someone may have a reason that, they don't like gay people, for instance. And, I myself, totally fine with people of any sexuality. Hey, that's fine. I'm not into guys. But if you are, hey, that's fine. Just don't hit on me, respect my space. But, but some people just get so vile towards gays or towards any sort of, group. And, it's one thing if you're actually being really aggressive and just really, terrible towards them, but you could also just not like them, but not act out on it. And, does it make you a bad person? Maybe not. It makes you a little less than a tolerant person, but it's also important to accept the fact that, hey, someone might just feel uncomfortable with that. And for me to say, well, you shouldn't feel that way, in a way that's almost intolerant of someone else's, feelings, even if, to me it's like, well, it's no big deal, it's really not a problem. But I don't know, that's an interesting thing when you're thinking about, like, tolerance. You also have to understand that sometimes you do need to accept the fact that to truly be tolerant, you have to be accepting of the fact that sometimes other people, they just don't feel comfortable with something that you think shouldn't be a problem. And, it's fine. Like, smoking, for instance. I mean, no offense to anyone that smokes, not judging, but when I was younger, I had a friend that, and I'm sure he still does smoke, but, he was in his mid-teens or so, and, he smoked, and, as much as, like, I wanted to say, dude, don't do it, it's just not right, it was his decision, even though I know it's something that's bad for him, and it's not something that I like, and obviously, it's pretty much been proven that it does lead to some health things. The thing is, I have to tolerate that and accept that, because it's his decision. I can't push my views on him. But yeah, I don't know, it's interesting when you kind of think about that. But yeah, I do agree. The one thing I don't think anyone should have to tolerate is verbal/physical abuse from others. That just ain't right. Completely agree. Even emotional abuse. The tolerance that I was kind of talking about was really more of, either silent or relatively minor remarks. But, once you start insulting people, and there's a clear difference between, just maybe saying something and insulting someone. Yeah, that's wrong. And when it gets into physical abuse, that's way over the line. But also, people that do that, they are far more damaged than people that don't act out like that. Because these people, they have a clear lack in their lives. Either a lack of guidance, a lack of self-worth or self-value, because normal, healthy people don't do that. They just don't. Yeah, so there's a line. There's definitely a line. But you know what? Again, I'm spending a lot of time talking about this. I guess it's helped me wake up, you know, because I was a little tired earlier trying to think of what to say or what to do. But I think it's just good to, you know, have a chat like that every now and then, just to kind of, you know, refresh you on what's just a good way to do things. And, you know, understand it's fine to not like certain things, but to demean people if they do like certain things, that's definitely that's a problem. I mean, let's face it, we're all here for Pokemon, right? So I'm sure most of us here, if not everyone, has probably been put down at some point in your lives to you know, at some point in your lives to, you know, been picked on for liking Pokemon. Well, maybe people that like sports. You know, what's the difference? It's an interest. It's something that you enjoy, and it's social, and there's a community for it. People that like Digimon, people that like Yu-Gi-Oh, people that like My Little Pony. I mean, there's all sorts of different fandoms or interests, and oh well, you know what? I try my best not to judge people that like things. Doesn't matter what it is. It's like, you know what? I like Pokemon. I don't want to be judged, so I'm not going to judge other people. But yeah, anyway, we're ready to start Wonder Trade, so that's good. And Lufia Guy, 2000 just subscribed. That is some big service. Thank you so much, Lufia Guy. That is wonderful. And for the record, love the Lufia games as well. I know I saw you mention that earlier, but yeah, I love the Lufia 2 for the SNES. It's just really great. Alright, I want to actually get Lufia 1. I rented it a long time ago, but I haven't played it in a while. Okay, so let me get this set up now. I'm gonna send out a tweet as well. Let people know we're ready. Let's see. Where did my Twitter go? I have so many windows open on here. Alright. Is that correct? Pokemon Go is now available in Brazil? Somehow I doubt that. Hold up. Oh man. Where is the source? I feel like I should actually send a message to Phazon really quick, because this has been like a running gag. Hold on. Do. Alright, I'm sure he'll appreciate that. He's probably already aware of it, but yeah, that's, man, every single comment on, Pokemon Go News, like, replies, like, Brazil! When Brazil? And it's like, it just, you know, it's not an official account. It's a fan-run account, so, yeah. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna do this. Alright, there we go. Well, hopefully it is released there, although to be honest, I was kind of hoping that they'd wait until after the Olympics. I think it could potentially be rather dangerous during the Olympics. Hopefully it doesn't cause any problems, although that'd be a long time to wait. Alright, so let's go ahead and start this up. So I will gradually explain the rules to people who are just showing up, but most of you been to a few of these, so you probably know what's going on. I'll give it just a moment though, just so we're, you know, at least on the same page. You got this all started up. Let's see. Yeah, so we're gonna trade away a box of these things. I'm gonna wait just a moment here, just so it'll be alright, but yeah, we'll start in just a sec. I've really been getting into this sparkling ice stuff. 0 calorie, is pretty good, and got a few vitamins and stuff, but it's also, I don't know, it's nice. Just kind of refreshing. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. For everyone that knows the drill, you'll already have seen the countdown. And there we go. Alright, but for people who don't know what the heck is going on, yeah, this is Wonder Trade. And I do a countdown in the chat. You want to watch the chat? Well, you know what? I'll explain it in just a moment. Maybe one or two more, just so people that are tuning in on Twitter, you know, they'll see it and be able to get in. And then I don't have to explain it again. We'll do one or two more. Alright. I just feel good trading away these things, because, you know, Cyndaquil are pretty cool. People like getting them. Alright, let's see. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing. I don't know if any of you know the Pokemon Go News Twitter account. It's got like over 820,000 followers. I don't know where it's even at today, but just got a crazy amount. Funny story. Yeah, actually that's an account that Phazon created. Remember him? You know, he did sleep blocks and stuff. He's a good friend of mine. Yeah, he made that. It's just crazy. Can't believe it. So yeah, he's been just like, his whole world has just changed so much, but it's really cool. I mean, it's good to see that someone who is actually good in the community is running a big account like that. Oh, an Ivysaur, that's interesting. But yeah, it's like, you know, if I happen to see someone or something about Pokemon Go, you know, if it's been released somewhere, you know, if I don't see him make a post or something, I let him know, hey, saw this, might want to look into it. I didn't know if it was a joke, because it seems like there's been a lot of jokes and stuff lately, but I think this might actually be legit, so that's could be good. I'm still personally a little on the fence about it, because I don't know, right before the Olympics, I just think that could be getting some trouble. Oh, a Slowpoke named Okra, that's cool. Okay, so hopefully everyone is here now. How this works, just in case you're not familiar, you're wondering, you know, how this is working. Hopefully you know what Wonder Trade is, because I'm not going to explain that to you. But I will type in the chat a countdown in order to synchronize the Wonder Trades. What you see right now is actually something that happened probably about 15 to 20 seconds ago because of the delay on Twitch. That's just an inherent part of it. So, to compensate for this, I use the chat to do a countdown. I will say 3, 2, 1 in the chat. I won't say 0. I won't say go. Ideally, you'll want to trade right around the time you see it say 1. It doesn't have to be timed perfectly. Don't worry, because it's a random amount of time between trades. So, moral of the story: you want to watch the chat. You want to trade your Pokemon as soon as you see it say 1, and hopefully that'll increase your chances of getting me over Wonder Trade, which is pretty cool. These are just normal Cyndaquil. They're not cloned. They're not anything like that. I don't do the hacking stuff or the cloning or anything. These are Cyndaquil that I've personally hatched on my way to catch or hatch a Shiny Cyndaquil. So hopefully one of you will end up with them. But yeah, that's kind of what they're all about. If I do happen to get like a shiny Pokemon or something over Wonder Trade, unless it's like stupidly hacked, I'll just retrade it so then maybe someone will get it, because I don't really need it. And if it is like, you know, maybe mildly hacked, I'm still gonna retrade it. So yeah. Am I doing online battles on the stream? Nope, I don't do battles. Sorry, it's not anything that I do. I did it back in like 2008, I think. Yeah, but that's it. I don't really find them fun. So if you're looking for that, just look somewhere else. You know, no problem, no hard feelings or anything like that. I'm just letting you know that's not what I do. There's plenty of people that do that though, so hopefully you can find some of them to check out. But I just prefer the more kind of passive, enjoyable stuff. All right. Radical Rose. So radical. Charmander. Oh man, alright, I kind of want to see if you managed to get that tweet out. Oh, there we go. So good to finally have it be out in Brazil. That's just been this running joke between us. Like, I can just say, Brazil when? Like, anytime, because, like, he gets that so often. And, I mean, it's great to see people in Brazil so passionate and excited for the games. Like, don't get me wrong, but, like, you know, it kind of gets to a point where it's just like, guys, just chill a little bit. You know, direct that towards the official account, not, you know, the other thing, but... So I've always just been giving him a hard time with that. It's like, oh man, the day that Brazil is released is the day he's going to take like a 24-hour nap. Although he just took a 24-hour nap not too long ago. But yeah. Let's see. What's your opinion about hyper training? Pretty much makes breeding for IVs obsolete. Yeah, but personally I'm in favor of it because even though, yeah, it does kind of make breeding for IVs obsolete, what's most important about it is it makes it actually possible or reasonable to get legendary Pokemon with perfect IVs, which is just something that isn't easily done without cheating, you know? And same for things that, you know, like, I'm trying to think of an example. Well, just things in general, I guess. It makes it so much better. I think it's fair because honestly for competitive battles, you pretty much need to have that anyway. They did a lot to improve the breeding mechanics in Gen 6 to make it more accessible to people. And I'm glad for that. So that's great. But I think that there's a point where it's like, well, now, you know, you can do that, but your Pokemon that, you know, you might have grown quite fond of while playing through your adventure, it's useless to you in competitive battle. Now, you can actually use it and you won't be at a disadvantage. I guess I liken it to chess pieces, okay? Now, if you play a game of chess, are you expected to bring your own chess pieces that you carved yourself? No! It's a game of skill. And I guess that's kind of that's how I look at it, and how I look at even, cheating in Pokemon games. When I say cheating, I don't mean like, the really nefarious stuff, but I mean like, okay, I just want to throw together a team that has, alright IVs. I personally don't do this, but I don't judge people that do too harshly because they just enjoy the strategy element of the game. They enjoy the battling part. And I don't feel like if that is... I don't feel like that's breaking the limitations of the game. I think the only thing it is doing is just making it less of a time investment and less of a luck chance thing. Because, you could get a perfect IV Pokemon on the very first egg if you're super lucky. But probably not going to happen. It's just time. It's not skill. And I think that, competitive Pokemon should be about skill. But, again, I personally do not care. I think that if you're going to trade stuff on Wonder Trade, please don't, because it just takes the fun out of it for people that actually do want to trade. But for you, if it is at least, if it's about, just you want to battle and stuff, I think that's just fine. Alright, so yeah, let's see. Zoroark. I'm just glad that it makes it a bit more accessible to people who, might need to use like a legendary or a genderless Pokemon or something. It'll also be great for Dittos, because, now you'll be able to actually get legit 6 IV Dittos that can be used in breeding projects. You don't have to feel guilty about it. So I think that'll be pretty good. Let's see. What are my thoughts on recent Sun and Moon news? I love the new designs for Gen 1, and they aren't even Megas. I really like the Alolan Pokemon. I think they're great. Yeah, I think that's awesome. So, I'm glad to see them. I'm glad that they're not Megas, too, because I would actually love it if they just did away with Mega Evolutions and had that be just something that they do in Gen 6. Even though, there are a few Mega Evolutions I like, I just think that it'd be nice to mix things up. And obviously, like, Gen 7 is looking to be very, very bold as far as differences from the main series goes. They're changing a lot of what we know from Pokemon, and I think that's good, actually. So, we'll have to see. But hopefully it'll be pretty good. And I realized I didn't even play any music, but I don't know. I don't know if I even feel like it today. Tends to get a little chaotic. Yeah, I'm liking this sparkling ice stuff. Hey, Ruby! Wonder Trade Wednesday, Maryland. Nice! There we go. I guess that'd be probably Swampert VGC. Excellent. Well, great. I'm glad you got one of these. Man, I got one of your Feebas. Nice. Oh, man. But yeah, I'm excited about the news. Although it's kind of weird, like, I don't know, July just felt like it had so much news that it was just kind of overwhelming. I didn't actually keep up with that much of it. And I'm glad, like, I mentioned this earlier in the stream, but for people who aren't or weren't there, I'll just kind of reiterate. I know I used to do a lot of, kind of trailer analysis type videos, but it wasn't even like heavy analysis. It was mostly just going over what was in the trailer, and then I just realized, you know what? First of all, everyone's doing it anyway, and usually adding all sorts of, hey, Perez! Hey! Also adding a whole bunch of, just really out there speculation and stuff like that, and I don't really like it when people get that crazy about things, but I don't know, to each their own, I guess. But, it's a lot of work editing all of those videos, and I figure, you know what? Why, sure, I'm sure people like to hear my opinion and stuff, but it just, so much work, and it's just stuff you can find on the main trailer anyway, so I don't know, that's why I haven't been doing it. But yeah, it is pretty cool, the additions that they've done. I feel like there's been a lot revealed for Sun and Moon now, because like right after there was I don't know, I actually completely lost my train of thought, darn it. I need my coffee. That's what I need. Sup, Marriland? Hey, sup? Alright, well, I guess I got another Marrilander. I'd say that counts. Definitely. Let's see. Monthly news stuff would be cool on the channel. I mean, yes and no. I guess the long and short of it is, I never really liked reporting on the news. Some people really like it, but I guess I find that I personally don't. Like, it's just not something that I enjoy. And I think I'd rather just leave it to the people that do enjoy it. Oh, great, I gotta sit through this. Oh. Oh, well. But yeah, that's, I'm glad I had that realization. I guess back when I used to run the website, I always felt that pressure to have news and stuff, like, you know, because it was for the website. But now that, you know, my primary thing now is the primary thing is YouTube. I mean, that's what it is for me. Even though, of course, you know, these videos do pretty well. I don't really enjoy doing them, so I think I'd rather just go ahead and, you know, not worry about it so much. Not feel guilty. Oh man, I really do want to work on my website at some point. Like, I have to build it from scratch, and that is really a daunting task. I think it will be pretty cool when I do, but that's why it's just been redirecting to Azureland, because I figure that's what, you know, was on it anyway for the past several years, that, you know, until I get something up, I might as well have it go there. But I want to do that. It just takes such a long time. Yeah, so that's kind of how it goes. And, you know, maybe I do more news and stuff then, but for right now, I just want to focus on having, like, you know, the Pokédex and Team Builder. I want to actually have a nice fixed Team Builder for that, because that was something I felt terrible about. You know, I didn't develop the new one, and I couldn't edit it and fix a lot of the bugs and make it really user-friendly. It was beyond my control ever since, you know, the newer site, newer version of it. So once it's back under my control and back something that I can just make myself, it should be good. It's just, you know, the sad thing is, it's like, we live in an era now where there's just, you know, DDoSing left and right, or, you know, dynamic distributed denial of service attacks. And it's like, who does that? Like, really, people? What was it? Pokemon DB, I think it was. They got hit with a DDoS just not too long ago. And it's like, come on. Are people seriously that bored? Or have literally nothing better to do? Like, really? And the internet's just so much less fun than it used to be when I first made Marriland. That's why I think just kind of relying on social media networks works probably better, because they're a lot better equipped to deal with stuff like that. And it's not really a big deal. I would just have the website up as a hobby, not really, you know, for my main job anymore. That's definitely going to be YouTube from now on. But, oh well. Let's see, what is a DDoS? So, I guess, to put it lightly, it's where you attack a website or a computer, like a person, not like a person, but like someone's home internet, you could theoretically do. It's where you have a bunch of zombie computers that have been infected with like malware. That's for all those grandmas out there that are still using XP. This is why you shouldn't use that. Because once your computer's been infected with that, then it can basically act as a weapon to take down sites. When sites, big websites or small, especially small websites, when they receive too much traffic, then their servers just can't handle it. Now, for personal websites, you know, it doesn't take much traffic to take it down. I remember back when I first had Marriland.com really start taking off, it was like crazy. And that wasn't even, you know, DDoS. That was just people trying to access it. And it was such a tough challenge trying to figure out how to accommodate that many people. But when it's a DDoS, oftentimes you have just huge amounts of data and bandwidth coming in that the server just can't keep up with it all. It can't process it at the same time, so people can't access it because the servers get overloaded. Definitely not very fun. Thankfully, you know, I didn't really have to deal with that because that wasn't as much of a thing back when I was running a website myself. But, I don't know, I'm not looking forward to dealing with it again because that's just... It's like, why do people do that? You know, give a good thing and take it down. Oh, well. Guess that's just how it goes on the internet. Guess that's why the moral of the story is, you know, be a good person. Don't do stuff like that. Just wrong. Oh, man. But yeah, I know that's something I need to do at some point. Get the site up, because I do miss that. It was kind of relaxing. Just working on a site rather than having to work on videos and stuff. Oh, this is a good question. What's the best part of working full-time on YouTube, and what's the worst part? The best part is you want to sleep in a day? Oh, hi, Volcanion. Man, why do people have to do that? Although I guess technically isn't it out in Japan, but it isn't Wonder Tradable? That really stinks. Let me tell you why I don't like this, okay? I'm a legit player. I was looking forward to getting my Volcanion in October to complete my Pokedex. Okay? Because I did that with Diancie. I did that with Hoopa. And now I don't get that opportunity. My Pokedex now is 721, so it will forever look like I've cheated to get Volcanion, even though I didn't. Thanks, person who did that, for ruining my Pokedex. I can't remove it from my Pokedex, so I have 721 now. That's why, do not do that on Wonder Trade. Honestly, you take away people's fun by doing that. You just plain and simple do. Alright, I'm removing that. What can you do? This is why I hate it when people do that on Wonder Trade, because, you know, it's one thing to get, like, a shiny, but now my Pokedex is 721. Oh, look at Marriland, the cheater, right? Yep. Don't do that. That's why. People who take pride in completing their Pokedex naturally, they lose out on that when they're trying to do a good thing for people. And, you know, honestly, I put a lot of blame on Pokemon for this. They should be detecting any time a Volcanion gets traded over Wonder Trade. Period. Like, they should have smarter systems. But yeah, that just... it's terrible. I'm still gonna get my Volcanion, but, you know, honestly, to the people who think that this is okay, that think they're doing a favor, you're not. You're not doing a favor by doing that, and you should really be mindful of that. If it's a shiny, you can just release it, but something like this, you know, it's a ding on credibility and all that. I mean, I'll always explain the story in the future. I don't care, you know, whatever. But just want to remind people that think, oh, I'm going to clone this and give this away. Don't do that. Just don't. Because you do upset people. And it, you know, just don't do it. But yeah, whatever. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. People just have to do that. I'm gonna go block that person, though. I don't ever want to get a nice or anything from that. Alright, where's that Winry? Where are you? Alright, right up there. Darn it, why did it have to scroll to the top? Take out my anger. Where is an option? Can I not remove you? Maybe I can't remove from... There we go. Get out of here. Never want to see you again. Alright, well, whatever. Yeah, I do wish I could report people for that, because it's just less than fun. Alright, well, whatever, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Took away a lot of the fun for me today, though. Not happy about that. Not happy about that. Alright, well, what else can I talk about? I just want to get my mind off of that. I mean, I guess it was bound to happen eventually, but it just really ticks me off. Really ticks me off. Let's see, talk about potatoes. Alright, potatoes. I like potatoes. I like mashed potatoes. I like fried potatoes. I like potato fries. I like, potato chips, I guess. I don't eat potato chips very often. But yeah, I do like potatoes. They're fine. I don't eat potatoes every day. But when I do eat potatoes, they're pretty good. Alright. I think my favorite would probably be mashed potatoes with a little bit of butter. Delicious. Just delicious. None of that instant stuff. It's gotta be like real potatoes. So good. Although baked potatoes is really nice. Or, oh, what is it? Thinking of a thing. It's a potato meal. And it's pretty good. But I can't remember what it was. It's, oh, like... I don't remember. I actually don't. But I know that I do like potatoes. they're pretty good. They're alright. I like them okay. Gratin. Yeah, all gratins are pretty good. Frittata. Frittata's pretty good. I think it was au gratin, actually. Was what I was thinking of. I couldn't remember what it was, but yeah, that's That's the one. It's good. Let's see, what else to discuss? I guess I should probably announce the fact that I personally am Marriland. I bet you didn't know that, did you? I bet you didn't. You thought I was someone else, but nope. Gotcha. I gotcha. I'm actually Marriland. My secret identity has been revealed. It even has a poison barb. Wow. Alright, let's see. I don't really even know. I'm just trying to think of goofy stuff. I actually forgot to say spoilers. I'm really sorry for anyone who accidentally spoiled the thing for. I know, I'm terrible. I'm actually terrible. Why would I do that? Just like that, man. Alright, so let's see, what else can I talk about? Actually, let me talk about an idea. I don't know if I'll actually do it or not, but I was kicking around the idea of doing, again, I'm not setting this in stone, I'm just kind of gauging interest in, you know, maybe streaming Terraria. Like, so far it's only been a YouTube thing, and I'm not going to stream my existing series. I'd start up, like, another world and character to play on, but it could be interesting. I did that a while back, but I kind of stopped because it was a little hard to coordinate, but now that, you know, I'm in Terraria mode again, that's something I'd probably end up doing way too much of, because I love that game. I was actually thinking about it. I like it more than Minecraft, and I did say it. I actually do. I think earlier on, it wasn't quite as good, but man, like, with all these updates and stuff now, it is just incredible how much content gets added over time. And even though they don't update, like, super frequently, it's like, you bought it, or I bought it for, I don't know, probably even like $8 way back. It's like $10 now. $10! And you get so much content out of it, which is just crazy. So yeah, I don't know if that's gonna be a thing or not. Multiplayer server for Terraria. So the downside with that is, unlike Minecraft, it's not something that I could just leave on all the time, because, you know, you log out for a day and then you log back in and you're in hard mode and everything's been defeated, and it's like, okay. Like, multiplayer, or like a multiplayer server in the same line as, Minecraft, let's say, not as good of an idea. But it's not a bad thing to have, like, a server that's open only when you're open. But then again, it's like, if you have a whole bunch of people on, then, like, I don't know, it just makes the boss fights a lot easier. It makes trying to get all the resources a lot harder, because you have to split stuff. It has its flaws. That's why I'm not as keen on it. It can be fun, though. But that's why I'm not leaning towards having it be, like, a Patreon thing. Because otherwise you just have way too many people online, and it just gets really chaotic. Let's see, I don't know much about Terraria. How much old ground would you retread if you played it on stream? Well, the good news is every single world will be a little bit different. And that can be a little bit, enjoyable, I guess. Like, you know, you don't have to worry about it being so, you know, so repetitive. Like, I would play through it probably 5,000 times. I don't know. I don't mind the early grind. And, you know, maybe stick to, like, a challenge. Maybe only do, like, I don't know, melee, or only do, you know, range, or maybe, you know, only go one way after a certain point. And that's not a bad approach either. Like, I've been trying to think, alright, well, what if I were to do, like, you know, maged only, or magic only, or ranged only? And the, I guess the problem with that is, you know, that early game, you know, are you, like, super, super strict? Hey! Another Marrilander, nice. Are you like super strict, or do you allow a little bit of leniency? Because like for magic, you don't get a good magic weapon early on, so that does become a problem. And same with summoning. So maybe like, I don't know, by the time you fight the Eye of Cthulhu, that's when you have to kind of pick. Let's see. Have I done any off-screen shiny hunting? If so, have you gotten any recently? Nope. Actually, I haven't. Haven't done anything. So, yeah. Let's see. Have you ever tried out Factorio? It's modded Minecraft, but you get automation instantly, and you spend the whole game doing higher and higher automation. I haven't personally played it. I think I watched Azuma play it. A little bit of it, because I know he was quite fond of it. And it looks alright and all, but I guess if I wanted to play something like Minecraft, I'd probably just play Minecraft. What I really hope for in Sun and Moon is improved hack filters. I thought they would have improved in Gen 6, but they really haven't. It's been the main reason I stopped playing Gen 6 lately. I totally agree. It's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. And it's like they should have the technology for it. But yeah, we'll have to see. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe give it some thought over the next while for if that'd be something you'd be interested in watching. I'm not sure if I want to stream it or not. Like, I might just say, you know what? I'd rather just, maybe play it. Because it does get a little bit more chaotic when there's, like, people that you're trying to talk to. I'd have to keep my eye on the screen most of the time, as opposed to this, where, there's a lot of downtime. Or even Minecraft, there's not, like, enemies attacking left and right. But it could still be fun if you want to see me play more of it. But I also feel like I could just use that time to record for the channel instead, which might not be a bad idea. So yeah, we'll have to see, but I guess I just figured I'd throw that possibility out there. Just gotta go for the 200 fish achievement. I actually should see where I'm at on that. Because I only need just a few more. I need 3 more achievements. I need the sick throw, so I gotta get the Terrarian yo-yo. I need the, oh, what is it? I actually had gotten this. The winter one where there's like, I don't remember what it's called, but that event that only happens like around Christmas time. Unfortunately, I have already I've already done that way back. Sunday, yeah, it is. It's pretty great. Man, Sunday was awesome. Let's see. I'm at 134 out of 200 quests for the Angler. So that's pretty good. Marriland is Bay. Well, I guess that's definitely Marrilander, Great. But yeah, the, what is it? The Frost Legion. That's right. I actually fought them when it first came out, but that was before, achievements were in the game, so it didn't count, I guess. And it's a pig. Well, that's cool. Happy pig! I like it. It's pretty happy looking, huh? I know I'm gonna get that fishing achievement once I do the expert mode run, because that's gonna definitely require a lot of fishing. What is my least favorite starter? I think my least favorite starter, no offense to any fans of this Pokemon, but it had to be Turtwig. I really don't care for Turtwig very much at all. Oh, I'm trading with Daddy. Yeah, I think that's just not one that I care for all that much. But honestly, once Litten is released, that is sort of in the running too, because I really don't like that thing. I think I think I like it even less. Majesty. That's a name for it. Wow. Better be Chikorita. Actually, Chikorita might be one of my top 3 favorites. I think Charmander's my favorite. I think Chikorita might be above that. Hey, Captain Nomer subscribed for 10 months in a row. Heyo, figured it would be nice to tell you I raised up one of the Sunbursts you want to trade me. Well, that is awesome. So glad that worked out so well for you. And thank you so much for your big service. Alright, so I guess final Wonder Trade for the day. And yeah, we're gonna see what we get. Then I am going to take a long nap. I wish. I don't think I actually will. But I'll probably go get some coffee or something. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I know that there's been all sorts of emotions during this stream for various things. But yeah, guess it's good that we finally have it all wrapped up. And yeah, I was glad to have a chance to talk some of the new Pokemon news and stuff, because I didn't do a video on it, and I just thought it would have been a little too chaotic doing Minecraft on Monday. But I think this upcoming Monday we'll do the finale for it. And you know, I'm not doing any Pokemon discussion then. It's just gonna be Minecraft. And it'll be nice. We'll just kind of have a kind of throwback to the series, so that's pretty cool. Alright, well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I should hopefully see you next week for more Wonder Trade Wednesday. I'll see you next time, everyone. Woo!